Hi everyone, I'm Isabella. Good morning and good afternoon for our international students. I'm Isabella and I'm a student recruitment officer at Boost Education Service. And today our guest is Mark. He will present us today University of East London and he will tell us about the amazing opportunities they have for international students. Hi Mark, how are you?
Hello, hi, and hello everybody. My name's Mark Whitfield from the University of East London. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. I'm looking forward to lots of questions. So hopefully, if people have any questions, by all means, send them over. But yeah, good, thank you.
Great. So, Mark, why should the students come in UK and study at University of East London?
Right, okay. So to answer that question, I have got a presentation to deliver, but I'm happy to take questions now. So
Oh,
why East? Why
okay. If you want, we can do the questions at the end, and you can have the presentation now.
Sure. Well, what I'll do is I'll do the presentation now because I actually answer that very question. I do cover that very question. What makes UEL unique and what makes us a good choice? But let me do a presentation. But guys, if you've got questions, send them through by all means. Give me a second. Let me get my presentation open. Here we go. Right, here we go. It takes a while to load. Right, good, great. Okay, so if I go on to this and I click share screen, here we go. You should be able to see a presentation. Can you see?
We do.
You
We do.
can. Brilliant. Okay, so the University of East London. So this is a short presentation. I'm not going to sit here all day talking to a presentation. It's about you and it's about you asking your questions. But just let me give you an overview of the university and just to bring you up to speed on what makes us one of London's top choices as a destination to study for international students. So East London, we're in the world's top 200 modern universities. We're also the first careers-led university in the UK, and we have a groundbreaking partnership with Amazon, as well as other internationally renowned businesses. And I will talk more about that as I go through. We are ranked first in the UK for international support and visa advice. We're ranked first in the UK for our impact of our psychology research, so one of the top psychology schools in London and the UK. We're second in London for architecture and third for civil engineering. But for our business subject areas in business, we're third in the UK for economics, with the biggest Bloomberg suite in Europe. And we have extensive links with major organizations and companies based in Canary Wharf, which is the financial hub of the UK. And these are companies such as Bloomberg, Accenture, and Barclaycard. And also technology, IT, AI. We're ranked for computer science first for student satisfaction in the UK. So we are quite unique, and some of our subject ranking areas are some of the top subject rankings for most London universities. Just to give you an overview of what we specialise in as a university, we specialise in architecture, computing and engineering, but also arts and digital industries, business and law, which includes finance and economics, education, and we're one of the top destinations for health, sports and biosciences, where we currently do lead the way in our bioscience labs. We've just invested recently £2.6 million in bioscience laboratories at UEL and psychology. So just to give you a sense of our campus and to give you kind of a feel, when I say modern, we truly are a modern university. This is our Docklands campus here, and the image below is our business school. And as you can see, it's very modern, but we boast some of the best facilities in London. Our classrooms, for example, are state-of-the-art classrooms and working studios, as well as our courses such as engineering, architecture, for example, fashion, and biosciences. We have some of the best state-of-the-art equipment and design. State-of-the-art equipment and studio workshops in the UK, and I will cover that shortly as I go on. But East London, look, we've been around since 1898, and we've been pioneering futures for well over 100 years. This is the original University of East London building here in Stratford. But the image below is our main Docklands campus, again, what I just showed you. And one of the things that truly make us unique, and this is my opinion, we actually have some of the best transport links for any UK university. Why do I say that? It's very ambitious of me to say such a thing. Well, first of all, we have a metro, the Docklands Light Railway, that brings you directly onto our campus. And you can see that in the image below. The metro system literally brings you onto our campus. Secondly, we are a campus very unique for a London university. So we're a campus university with our own on-site accommodation on campus. But if you look across the river, you'll notice that there's a runway, and that is London City Airport. So when I say we've got some of the best transportation links amongst any other university, it really is true. Not many universities have a metro that brings you directly onto campus, but also an airport literally on the doorstep. And as I said, we are a London university. We're not near London. We're not a train ride away from London. We're the University of East London. We are based in central London, 20 minutes away from London Bridge, to be exact. So we are a London university. And it's one of the reasons why we have some of the best employment rates and links to employment in the country, because we have such a busy, growing, dynamic city literally on our doorstep. London is leading the way in careers development, and we are a careers-led university. We put a lot of emphasis into ensuring that our graduates who study with us are job ready by the time they graduate. How do we do that? Well, we do that in several ways. The first, what we do is we have a module which is built into every course. Now, most universities will do this as an optional module, okay, or it will be something that you will do in your own free time, okay. It'll be something that's there, but you're not really encouraged to use it. We've actually built this into every course, and every course has what's called a professional fitness and mental wealth program, which sits at the very heart of every course. Now, what that does is it gives you several things. One, it will give you access to an internship. It will give you access to employers through a mentorship scheme. We also look at things such as looking at your soft skills as well and developing those within your chosen area. So it's built, basically, what we do is we look at what employers are looking for. What do employers look for graduates in your chosen field? What skills do they look for example? And what we do is we build that into the course. And the idea basically is that when you graduate from East London, you don't just have a degree, you will also have a CV or resume, which will stand up to scrutiny. It will literally equip you with key skills that employers require. And then, as I said, internships. So if you look at most of our programs at East London, we actually offer an abundance of internships. Now, these could be short internship opportunities built into the course. Some are year-long, like a sandwich year, which is built into the program. And at master's level, we offer a range of our MBA and MSc programs have an additional placement year. So there's a chance for you to do a 2-year master's whereby the first year is taught, the second year is a year-long placement. And then soft skills, so things like career development. How do we do this? So it's subject knowledge and work-based skills to help you stand out. Also as well, each year during your studies, you will take one mental wealth module. So the module composition is tailored to your degree and consists of a suite of competencies designed to enhance your resume and portfolio. We also have the Amazon Web Services partnership as well that students can access. But more importantly, students have free access to many different kinds of learning suites, as well as internship opportunities at UEL. But it's just worth noting here as well, guys, if you have any questions on that, I will be taking questions at the end of this. And then our key subject areas, so art and design, for example, very popular. We're one of the top schools, for example, for fashion at the moment, so fashion business and fashion design. Computing, UEL is leading the way within the computing and AI industry, especially fintech. And we really are one of our current suite of courses that we have really are way ahead of their time. In fact, most international students now are choosing East London because there's not many other universities that specialize, for example, in AI in the kind of depth that we do. But we have a dedicated employer engagement team. So again, it's all about getting you job ready and getting you as much career support as possible. And also, as I said, UEL is ranked first in the UK for student satisfaction. Very important ranking. I mean, first in the UK for student satisfaction. So, you know, that is a ranking really, which tells you all you need to know. It tells you that our students are so satisfied with their studies on this course. We're #1 in the UK. And then architecture and engineering, as I said, we boast some of the best state-of-the-art workshops and facilities in the UK. And we really do give our students access to those opportunities to use this key equipment and to learn how to use it. And as I said, we're currently one of the top universities for when it comes to engineering, for example. And then business and law. So obviously our Royal Docks Business School is one of the top business schools in London. And as I mentioned, we're working with a lot of key partners such as Barclaycard and Accenture, including Bloomberg. But we're the only, and also as well, it's worth mentioning here for students that may be interested in law, we are currently the only London university that trains the London Metropolitan Police. Now, the most important one here, I think, is student support. And, you know, look, you're investing a lot of money in your education and you're embarking on a journey. And most of you, English will not be your first language. And adapting to a different education system can be a challenge. And one of the things that we actually have at UEL is an excellent student support setup. Every student, for example, is assigned a personal tutor. And what that basically means is you will meet on a regular basis with your personal tutor and you will get key support throughout your degree. But also as well, we have a hub and they are there really to provide you with support and advice throughout your time at UEL. And then accommodation. So for those of you who may be interested in accommodation, it's worth noting here that we're among the newest university accommodation in London, but we're also we're one of very few universities that actually have on-campus accommodation. And UEL's accommodation is not private, it belongs to the university. That is very unique. And our fees range from approximately £650 to £700 per month. But what can you expect for that? Well, you're 20 minutes away from London Bridge. You're on campus, so you're not paying for transportation. You're not private, so it is a little bit cheaper. And you get your own room, you get your own bathroom, you get your own toilets and facilities. So you literally have your own room and your own toilet and bathroom. And this is the accommodation just from outside as well, as you can see. So the application process, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the application process because we're working with some very, very good agents. And one of those agents is Boost. And already you've met Isabella, and we're working with a team of excellent, well-trained professional counsellors. And these guys will support you through the application process. These guys, having worked with them now for a long time, are very, very good at what they do. And they will support you through the journey. So they will take away that stress. They will take away that worry. And they will guide you through that process, as will I. But the application process really is straightforward. And I would recommend, if you are going to apply to East London, you apply with Boost Education, because these guys, like I said, they will guide you through the process. They're experts in what they do, and it will take away a lot of the stress for you. And then international fees. So going forward, international fees, these are the current fees, but fees are subject to change for the 2021 September intake. But at the moment, fees are approximately, for an undergraduate, £12,700. And then for master's students, fees range from between £12,840 to £13,260. And then you have our MBA, which is one of the most affordable MBAs in London at £15,000. Or the MBA with placement, that's a 2-year MBA, which is £18,000. However, guys, it is worth just kind of flagging that we do have some of the best scholarships available. And the great thing at East London is our scholarships. You do not need to apply for these scholarships. And if you do apply through an agent such as Boost, who are one of UEL's top agents, and they're an official UEL agent that work with us, you will automatically receive a scholarship. So you do not need to make any additional application for a scholarship. You will automatically receive back discount if you apply with them. I did say keep it short, so I have done. On the screen in front of you are my details. So by all means, take a screenshot or use your camera and take a quick picture. You have my WhatsApp and email. So if you do have any questions, or if you do want to contact me directly, by all means, please do. Or alternatively, contact Boost Education, who will be more than happy to assist you in any way possible. Other than that, I am now going to hand this over to you guys, because it is about you. And I think have I stopped sharing my screen?
Yes, it's everything all right now. Thank you so much, Mark. It was so interesting, and we have some questions from students that we should answer. So, for example, a student asks, which are the standard entry requirements for international students?
Sure, it depends where you're from. Okay, so if you want to let us know which country you're from, and it depends on which level as well. Is it for a bachelor's or is it for a master's program?
So for bachelor's, for example.
Okay, and where is she from?
I think she's from Romania.
Right, okay, so basically what we're asking for in that case is the Diploma de Baccalaureate, okay, and we're looking for an average grade of grade 8, I believe, yes, 8 is the minimum, and we're looking for the same grade in English as well, unless you've done Cambridge English as part of the baccalaureate. But you know what, guys, I'll be really honest, don't worry too much about English, because East London has its own English test that it delivers. online. It's free, so you don't need to do an IELTS.
That's great.
It is great. Saves you about £200. So don't waste your money on an IELTS.
And it is available for all the students.
All the students, yeah.
That's great. Then another question is, what careers have recent graduates went to?
Sure, yeah. So the great thing at East London is we have quite a dynamic and rich kind of portfolio of partners that we're working with. So Amazon is a good one. Crossrail, a big project. Microsoft, Shell, BP. So we're working with some big companies, and most of our graduate destinations, a lot of our graduates go on to work for these companies. In London, we also work with some of the top architect firms as well, such as Foster's and Partners. So we get a lot of our graduates going on to work for them. East London, we're very careers driven. So a lot of our students, when they actually graduate and enter the jobs market, they're actually, way ahead than most other students.
That's great. So we have a student that said that he already applied for University of East London for May. Thank you so much.
Good man.
That's great. And then the student is asking which are the student fees and finance options, but we spoke about the fees and the finance. And the scholarships are available for all the students, including the European students.
That's right. That's correct.
That's great. And which qualifications are you accepting?
So, like I said, if you've got an A-level or equivalent, we can accept you onto a degree. So that would be the diploma de baccalaureate if you're from Romania. But as long as you've got that or equivalent to that, we can accept it. But if you don't, my advice is don't panic. East London will look at the next option. We have foundation programs available, but we also have an international year one. What's an international year one? Well, what it is basically is students who can't get onto a degree, typically universities will offer them a foundation. That basically means you've got to do 4 years, all right? We don't do that at East London. We have a foundation, yes, but we also have an international year one. What's the difference? Well, it means that you still do 3 years, except the first year has been designed to kind of help you if you don't quite meet the entry criteria. So we will always look to get you onto a degree. It just may be that you have to go through a different route.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you so much. That's so interesting. I mean, the students are having a lot of opportunities by studying at University of East London. And we should take into the consideration the English test that is available to all the students, so the students don't need to pay for that.
Which is free of charge.
Yeah. Amazing accommodation. That is great.
It is. Any more questions?
Not at the moment. I think the presentation was very clear and it answered to all the students of questions. So thank you so much, Mark. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously there's a lot of things going on at the moment and applying to universities in the current climate. And I know that COVID-19 has certainly had an impact, and many people have questions on what's going to happen and what's currently happening as well with regards to COVID-19. Look, East London, I'd say, is one of the few universities that were well prepared for this. Why? Because we're a modern university, which meant that we were able to move our programs online very quickly. In fact, we were already teaching most of our programs online and live streaming them before the pandemic. And students now are asking what's going to happen in September. So for September 2021 intake, it looks very much now like the UK will be back to normal by September. Already students at East London have now gone back to their classes, albeit students that are required to do practical sessions. Students who need to do a practical have now gone back on campus. for those of you who are looking at studying in the UK for 2021, I would certainly say that things would appear to be back to normal by that point. The UK government has obviously released it and set its roadmap to recovery, with the 21st of June being the last of the lockdown restrictions being lifted. So my advice would be is watch that very closely. Wait until June. Don't worry too much about deadlines, even if you're applying through UCAS, because our deadlines at East London are not until July, so students are not required to meet their conditions until July. So I would say watch that space carefully, and if you do have any questions, get in touch with us or Boost Education Services, because these guys are experts as well, and they will guide you and advise you the best they can.
Yeah, sure, always. And also, can you tell us a little bit about the post-study work visa?
Yeah, sure. So basically, students who are obviously coming to study in the UK, and some of you who are watching this right now may already be in the UK studying. The post-study work visa basically is for students to apply once they've graduated and finished their studies. It basically allows students to stay in the UK for an additional 2 years to work. Now, obviously, to apply for the post-study work visa, you have to basically have a job or be in employment to apply for that. The great thing about East London is what puts us at a very unique advantage is because most of our courses have an internship built into them, and because we actually offer this as part of the program, most of our graduates actually have a job to go to once they've graduated. So once they've actually got finished their studies. Now, obviously, the post-study work visa has only just recently come into effect. So it will only come into full effect for students in, it's going to be summer, isn't it? They've changed the dates, haven't they? So it's going to be students who are graduating in summer this year will be able to apply for the study work visa. The great thing is most of our graduates have got internships and they're actually finding it quite easy. So they're very confident that when they do apply for a post-study work visa, they will have an employment, which obviously is what you need to apply for that.
Yeah, certainly. So that's great. So all the students that will come to study at University of East London, they will have the opportunity to live in the UK for 2 more years through the
exactly.
that you are offering.
I mean, look, you know, the question is now, isn't it, COVID-19 and the jobs market. Before COVID-19, the United Kingdom had the lowest levels of unemployment in the UK. In fact, our economy was much, much stronger, and we had the lowest levels of unemployment than any other country in Europe. And recent fiscal reports and studies recently released by the Bank of England, for example, have forecasted that the UK actually is going to be like a big spring, a coiled spring. Once the COVID-19 pandemic is over, it's forecasted that the UK economy is actually going to bounce back very, very, very quickly. In fact, it's estimated that the United Kingdom's economic growth forecast will be way ahead of any other European country by 2023. So that's very promising, and the economy is going to bounce back. So I would say to students, you're probably going to be coming to the UK just at the back end of the COVID-19, but the amount of job opportunities that are available in the UK as opposed to most other countries, and obviously the UK is in a period of growth. Obviously with Brexit now behind us, the UK is now looking forward. And let me tell you now, we really are looking forward. You know, the amount of businesses that are now coming to the United Kingdom to set up their businesses in the UK and head offices. A lot of companies now are moving away from continental Europe and looking at the UK as a kind of hub to come and trade from. The UK is making big waves, and with that comes opportunities. And I'd say that for you as students, and for you looking not just to come and study, but to also get some experience behind you, I would say that the UK is now more of a destination to come to than it was previously. I would say now is the chance, now is the time to come and do it.
That's great. Thank you so much, Mark. It was a great session today, and I'm sure we answered a lot of students' questions. Also, all the students, we invite you to contact us today to make your application for the University of East London so you can take advantage of their amazing opportunities and courses. And also to not forget about the post-study work visa that will help you to get a job in the UK and remain here for 2 years after studying.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, guys, look, I mean, as I said, we're working with one of the best agents in the UK, Boost Education Services. These guys, like Isabella, are experts in what they do. It's their job to support you, as is mine. But reach out to these guys and use the support and advice that they're offering. These guys literally do a good job. So do use their support. And as I said, apply with them. You will get that scholarship as well. So it is worth just keeping that in mind.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Mark.
All right. Brilliant.
Thank you.
You.
Bye.
See you
Have a nice
soon.